Both Gay Podcast. Dom Jamali here. What's up, you guys? Back with another Pretty Little Liars review. Today I will be reviewing Season 7, Episode 1, Tock, Bitches. Alright, so the episode opened up where the liars, Ezra, Caleb, and Toby are pretty much standing outside the police station. And they are trying to get their shit together, pretty much. Spencer asked Toby, are you sure about this? I don't want it, I don't want it to get in the way of your job or affect your job. And Toby's like, look, I promised you I'd help, and that's what I meant. Then all of a sudden they see a damn ghost walking outside of the police station. And they look at each other and they're like, okay, like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is that? And Toby's like, wait here, I'm gonna find out. So he goes into the police station and he questions her. And he's like, okay, you look like somebody who used to be here, who died. And Mary is like, oh yeah, that was my sister. So I'm like, okay. Toby continues to question her. He finds out that she owns a Lost Woods resort now, and she's reporting a break-in, which could have been the reason why she was running at the end of last season. Remember, she was running and the lights was flashing and shit. I mean, she's a shady bitch, so it could have been something else too, or it could have been both, So yeah, so he goes back out and he tells the bitches, and he tells Caleb and Ezra that, well, shit, they bitches too. He tells the bitches that Mary is one step ahead of them, and that she's reporting a break-in that they pretty much did. Then out of nowhere, they get their first text message of the fucking season. Do beep beep beep. Everybody's phone will go off, and I forgot the first text. I think A says something like something about Hannah and the bell toll or something like that. So they turn around. What is going on with my TV? Oh, okay. They turn around, but right behind them is the church, and the bell starts going off. So they, book over to the church. They running, boop, 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 boop. They get up in the church and they look up and they see Hannah, or they think they see Hannah up at the top of the shit hanging, holding some flowers. And so they rush up there, rush up the stairs, and Caleb and Toby, whatever the fuck, pull Hannah down. They're like, oh my god, she's dead. Oh my god, look at her. What's going on? Everybody's in shock. Everybody's upset. And then I think out of nowhere, Caleb is like, it's not Hannah. It's a mask or some shit. And I just really looked at my screen fucking sideways when that happened. I'm like, so you telling me you pulled this thing from hanging between the fucking bell tower, whatever the fuck, and laid it down and didn't realize that wasn't the weight of a real fucking body? I'm confused. Like, I'm completely confused. You couldn't tell that was a motherfucking doll from you lifting the shit to putting it down. That was my only issue. And then I'm like, you couldn't tell it was a mask? Because we all know that was really Hannah. Like, come on now. Ain't no goddamn mask that motherfucking good. So we know that's bullshit. You couldn't tell that shit was a mask if it was really a mask. If y'all really trying to sell us on these fucking masks, at least make it realistic. Ain't no mask that fucking good. Anyway, I'm not staying on that. So that was that. I think the beep beep, their phones go off again, and A says, I'm giving you 24 hours to give me Charlotte's killer, or you getting Hannah's getting fucked up, pretty much. So throughout the episode, there's a time clock in the corner, basically counting down the minutes, the hours, and the seconds to when these bitches can get their shit together to find Hannah. So Spencer, the next scene, Spencer lets the bitches know that her parents are out of town, like usual. and that they can set up here. You know, they can set up their headquarters and their main meeting spot at her crib, which is pretty much the main meeting spot anyway. They always meet there. Oh, I forgot Mona's there. My bad. Mona's in the mix too. Forgot to mention that. Shit, forgot she was even there. So she's at the crib with everybody else. And they're basically sitting around theorizing who could be the killer. They got 24 hours. They need to come up with something. So Mona says, okay, we're gonna figure it out this time because it's the first time we work together. And I was questioning that line too, because I was pretty sure that Mona has worked with them a few other fucking times. So I'm like, what does she mean that they're all working together? Because even just last season, when they were trying to trick A by placing Hannah in the room, all of them were working together except for Mona, I think. But Mona, even though she wasn't working with them, she slid her fucking way into that shit anyway. So I thought that line was stupid. I was like, y'all have all worked together before, so that's bullshit. So anyway, she's like, oh, we're gonna figure it out. We all work together. So then Spencer comes up with a plan to like anonymously write who you think killed Charlotte down on a piece of paper. So they're all sitting around a little bar area, and they're writing the shit down, putting it in a bowl, and then I think Mona reads it. Or maybe Mona came up with that idea. I'm not sure. Mona and Spencer. But Mona is the one who reads the names. And I think it was like 5 Allisons or something like that. Like it was predominantly Allison's name on the sheets. One person said Spencer, one person said Mona, and one person said no name. Now I thought that was funny when Mona read Mona. I thought that was fucking funny, because I'm like, really bitch, who's trying to be funny at this goddamn table when we trying to be fucking serious and find Hannah? But then I realized it was probably just Spencer and Mona writing down each other's name because they hate each other so much, and they know each other's potential because they both just as smart as each other. So I'm like, they were serious. At first I thought they was trying to be funny, and then we find out later that Emily's the one who wrote no name, which I pretty much put 2 and 2 together before they even said, because she's just, I don't know. Emily's my least favorite character, but I'm not even gonna get on that. So they sit around and they talk about how it could be Allison, and Emily's over here defending her, and Spencer's like, look, I think she did it, but I think it was self-defense. I don't think she's a cold-blood killer. Spencer's making her case for Allison. Caleb's like, who gives a fuck? We got 24 hours. Everybody shut the fuck up. And another thing, Caleb was being really motherfucking rude throughout this episode to Spencer, and I did not like that at all. Like, you have some nerve to fuck this bitch, make her fall in love with you, then cheat on her with your ex-girlfriend, and then treat her like shit for your ex-girlfriend. Caleb is on my shit list, and I think I said that in one of last season's review videos. He's on my shit list, and he will forever be on my shit list. So, to move on from that, they decide to split up. So we have Mona and Caleb, Arya and Ezra, Toby and Spencer, and then Emily was pretty much by herself. Emily went over to see Allison, to see if she could get in to see her. When she gets up in there, she runs into Elliot. So she's talking to Elliot, and Elliot basically drops a bomb on her, telling her that Allison has gotten worse. Now, right at this fucking point, well, no, let me tell the rest first. So then, all of a sudden, we hear, like, Allison screaming in the room or some shit. And right immediately at this point, I came up with a theory. Now, I want to tell y'all my theory, because I think my theory is going to be fucking real shit. For once, I think I got a theory right. I think the reason why she is flipping shit is because she realized that Elliot is not who he is. And this is exactly what I said at this moment. I was like, I think she flipping shit because she put 2 and 2 together and realized that Elliot is not who the fuck he says he is, and that he really trying to keep her in there. and she trying to like get somebody's attention to get the fuck out of there. And that's exactly what I said at that point. And we end up later on kind of seeing something like that. But let me keep going. So back to the episode, back to the scene. All right, so out of nowhere they hear Allison screaming, and Emily looks, really bothered by that, but she still stays because she wants to see Allison to ask her about Charlotte. Then we have Caleb and Mona. Caleb and Mona decided that they're going to follow Mary around the whole day. At the Lost Woods Resort. They see her carrying some bags into the Lost Woods Resort, and they're suspicious. Mona's tapping her phone calls, trying to hear what's going on, and that whole thing. Then we have we also got Toby and Spencer. Were they at the Lost Woods? I don't remember what the fuck happened, but we also got Toby and Spencer at the Lost Woods Resort too, I think. And they're actually breaking into the room that Mary put the books and shit in. So they trying to see what the fuck is going on there. Then we got Ezra and Arya. They broke into Allison's house. And while they're at Allison's house trying to find some shit, Elliot comes in. They gotta hide. Elliot's being suspicious, opening shit up with keys and shit. And they escape by the fucking skin of their goddamn teeth because Elliot seemed like he was on to something. Okay, so that's pretty much that. Now, Spencer and Toby split up. Spencer goes back to the crib, and she calls Caleb. We haven't ate. Maybe I should fix some food for y'all, or maybe we should all come back here and eat. And Caleb hangs up on her, which I thought was really fucking rude. Mona's tapping Mary's phone call and realizes that she's talking to somebody that could be maybe British or Aussie, which we all know who that is. They're following Mary Drake around and see that she's going to Spencer's house. Caleb texts Spencer real quick, don't open the door. Mary's coming to your crib. Too late. Spencer opens the door and it's Mary. So Mary's like, oh, are you Spencer or are you Mona? And, Spencer's like, look, I'm Spencer. Somehow she gets the bitch in the house. And, Spencer's asking her questions without trying to seem too obvious. So she's like, do you have any kids? Blah, blah, blah. Why haven't I heard of you? And Mary was also dropping hints without, telling shit too. Because she was like, oh, me and your parents had a lot in common, da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, y'all was sucking the same dick. That's what it was. Now, that's another theory I got. That maybe all of them was fucking Mr. Hastings. Maybe all of them. Because at first I was going to say maybe it wasn't Mrs. D and maybe it was really her. But I'm like, maybe all of them was just fucking him and fighting over him. Why? I have no idea. Maybe he has the golden dick of the fucking world in century or whatever. Maybe he got it like that. We don't know. But I think maybe all of them was I'm not sure about that theory like I am with the first one. But when she said we have a lot in common, I was like, ding, ding, ding. Okay. So, what else? So they continue to talk, and then finally Mary's like, I gotta get the fuck up out of here. We see Hannah throughout the episode. We see A torturing her, spraying her with water, electrocuting her, or shocking her, whatever you want to call it. And we see that. Then we see her have like a dream, a fantasy, a hallucination of Spencer being in that little barn shit with her, and Spencer, encouraging her and telling her, if there's a way in, there's a way out. And then we see Hannah, wake up and get her shit together and say, okay, now I gotta get the fuck up out of here. But I'm gonna come back to that. So finally Emily gets into the room with Allison, and she asks Allison, yo, I need to know, like, I really need to know, bitch, did you kill Charlotte? And Allison, at first, she seems like she's asleep or she's out of it, and then out of nowhere she like exhales, kind of jolts up, and she's like, Lord forgive me, some. And Emily takes that as a confession, which I didn't. I took that as this bitch is tripping. That's what I took it as. I didn't even, and then even when they were saying that they think it was Allie, I'm like, too motherfucking obvious. Okay, I don't think Allison killed Charlotte at all. I don't know why the bitch was at the church, but which is a whole another conversation. But I just don't see it. But Emily took that as that was her confessing. So she goes to the brew and she's all distraught about it, where she runs into Arya. By the way, Arya had just left Ezra's house. She's confused about their little situation. She's like, bitch, are we friends with benefits? Am I just sucking your dick for a piece of change? Like, what's going on? So she left there and said she was going home, but for some reason stopped by the motherfucking brew for some coffee. So, Emily's there looking distraught, runs into Arya, and Arya's like, what happened with Allie? Like, you ain't tell us. And Emily lies, and she's like, I didn't see her. Do you have Allison's key? So she takes that key. She goes to Allison's house, and she finds the red sweater that Allison wore that night. And I don't know if she saw blood on it, because it was a little part or a piece of the scene where she was like, oh my God, I didn't believe. I don't know if it was blood on the shirt, something on the shirt, whatever. Maybe it was nothing on the shirt. So she takes her shirt back to Spencer's crib, and she's like, look, y'all, I fucked up. I lied. I really did see her. She confessed to it, and here's a sweater. So they're sitting around trying to figure out what the fuck what they're gonna do about this. Are they gonna throw Allison under the bus? Most of them are like, yeah, let's throw Allison under the bus. Emily, is not so sure of it. And I don't know where Caleb takes that shit, and he's out. Because while they're sitting right here talking, they got like 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So by the time he gets to the Lost Woods Resort, he got 55 seconds to, type some shit and leave the shirt. So that's what he does. Then we see A go to get Hannah, go to release her, but Hannah's already out. Because like I said, if there's a way in, there's a way out. She goes through the goddamn vent and gets up out of there. So we see her running through the woods. We see her cross the street or get into the street, and a car almost fucking runs into her, and it's Mary Drake. And Hannah's really shocked by this because she thinks from what happened last season. Does she think? No. Mistake. That's a mistake. Hannah don't know who the fuck she's seeing, because remember, Hannah was in the room the whole time when they saw that goddamn video. So Hannah probably thinks she's seeing a motherfucking ghost at this point, which is why she was so shocked. Then at the end of the episode, we see someone walk into, we see A again, go into the room to get Hannah, and he looking dumb, or she looks like a he, but who knows. And then so then we see somebody walking through the fucking mental hospital, and we see Elliot sit down with Allie, and he's telling her, like my fucking theory earlier in the episode, he's telling her, I'm gonna make sure you don't get the fuck up out of here, I'm gonna make sure you stay crazy, blah blah blah. And he shoots her up with something, and Allie got a fucking scary ass look on her face. And I think that was pretty much the episode. Let me see if I forgot anything. Well, I think that was pretty much it. If I did, okay, I did forget something. At the beginning of the episode, we got like a flash forward scene where the bitches are digging a grave without Hannah, and they're like, oh my God, poor Hannah, like what the fuck are we gonna do? And Spencer's like, well bitch, look, when somebody ends up dead, they gonna put it on us, so we got fucking buried, we gotta go all the way through with this shit. Now, seeing that you would assume that it was Hannah, I didn't at that point. I was like maybe Caleb died, maybe somebody close to Hannah died, her mom, anything. But I don't think, for them to say poor Hannah, don't think it's her. I think it may be somebody close to her, or I don't know, or maybe she killed somebody by accident, and and they got her back or whatever. But who knows? That'll unfold itself throughout the fucking season. Now, I thought this episode was pretty good. It's not top 5, probably not even top 10, but I thought it was pretty good. Certain aspects of it I really liked. I liked seeing everybody working together. I liked the pace of the episode. It wasn't too fast. It wasn't too slow. It went by at a reasonable fucking rate. What else fucking happened? I just liked seeing everybody working together. I liked seeing Mona in the mix. She looked really beautiful this episode. I like how everything is kind of unfolding itself right now, but not. I like how we see Elliot on the bullshit. We see Mary on the bullshit. We also, can fucking use our brains and see that they're not connected at all. Then we got AD over here. And I have another theory. I think AD might be Noel. That's my theory. I really can't explain that shit right now. But I think Noel gonna end up coming back in the picture. And we're gonna find out that he had something to do with it. Either he killed Charlotte or he is AD. I don't know. I just have a feeling that Noel got something to do with this shit. But anyway, so I liked certain aspects of the episode. Like I said, it went by at a good pace or whatever, and it was pretty good. But my theory about Allison and Elliot, I really do believe that shit. And we saw in the previews that she's gonna be trying to tell Emily that Elliot's on that bullshit, and Emily's not going to believe her, which I can't stand Emily, but like I say, I'm not gonna go into it. She the reason why the bitch even in the damn mental hospital. But anyway, I'm not gonna get into fucking Emily, but I just don't get it. How's a bitch hallucinating off some goddamn pills, and y'all think that's cause for her to fucking be in a mental hospital? Just take her off the motherfucking pills. I mean, I thought that was common sense, but Pretty Little Liars obviously doesn't play off of common sense. But yeah, I thought the episode was pretty good. I have decent hopes for this season. It's the last season, so maybe, whatever. I thought we was getting answers every episode. I'm still trying to figure out what fucking answer we got in this episode, but whatever. Like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Wait, is there something else I wanted to mention? Oh, I did. Okay, real quick, because this video is going on fucking forever. Why all of a sudden is everybody against Allie? Now, usually I'm okay with everybody against Allie, like in earlier seasons, because she was a bitch. Karma's a bitch. But now, okay, she didn't get her karma. Like, everybody just calm the fuck down. Why is everybody so convinced that Allie is the killer? And why is everybody again? I don't know. Like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Peace.